What's up, guys? It's Professor Gnome, and today we're going to be looking at Swim Freely. A little while back, I played against this deck in a video, and I kind of went on like a mini rant about how I thought the deck was very, very bad. And it got me to kind of experiment with it a little bit and mess around with it, and I actually kind of found a build that I think is really fun, and relatively good. I'm never going to lie to you guys and tell you that a terrible deck is really good. But this one's definitely fun and can get some wins, and I think it's definitely a more for fun, kind of more casual style deck. But I still think it's very enjoyable and definitely one to mess around with, especially if you're playing like just with some friends and all that. The deck focuses on using Seaking, because it has the Swim Freely attack and also the attack Aqua Horn, which does 60 damage plus 30 for every energy you have attached to it. And we're able to get energies attached to it using Finneon, thanks to its ability that allows us to attach as many water energies as we want to any Pokemon that has the Swim Freely attack, which Seaking does. Doing this is going to get a lot of energy in our discard pile, and that's actually why we also run the Hisuian Basculegion. I love this card, and it's probably my favorite part about this deck. Nobody sees it coming, and for no energy requirement at all, it does 20 damage for every energy we shuffle back into our deck from our discard pile. And so you can hit massive damage numbers. Like, if you get all 12 in the discard pile, there's pretty much nothing you can't just immediately one-shot. So it's a lot of fun to drop that kind of damage and catch people off guard from, like, the damage that this deck can actually kind of ramp up pretty quickly, since you only need, like, 2 pieces and you're kind of good to go. We're also going to run a Klara in order to get all of our stuff back, like our pieces back from the discard pile if we need to. We run Professor's Research in order to, get through our deck very quickly, alongside Irida's in order to grab all our pieces and all the item cards that we need. And then one important card we also run is Letters of Encouragement, because we're going to get knocked out pretty frequently, or we're going to have something in the active that's going to get knocked out, like our Basculin or whatever. So that'll allow us to grab all the energy we need to, like, kind of pop off. But yeah, that's the deck rundown, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. We'll get into the games in one more second. This will be the last time I ask this, but I switched up the thumbnail one last time. I know it's, becoming a bother and annoying to keep asking, so I apologize for that. But let me know what you think of this thumbnail format, if you like it more than the standard one, or if I should just stick with the standard one, stop messing with it, and just kind of rock on from there. Definitely let me know. I'd love to hear the feedback on it. This will be the last time I ask and switch it up, so it'll either be this format or the previous one, and we'll just rock out from there. And yeah, and then let me know lastly how the sound quality is on this one. I've upped everything, I've adjusted all the settings, so it should be better and should be like at a normal, good volume. But yeah, so let me know, guys. Thank you all for, everything, and I'll see you guys in the games. Peace. Alright, so we're into the first game, and we're going to be going first. We got an okay little setup here, so that's good. We can place the Goldeen in our active. We'll place the Artazon down. Yeah, so we'll place the Artazon down, and we'll look for a Bidoof, I think, is going to be the best play. Yeah. So we can play the Bidoof down first, end our turn here. Then on our next turn, what we're going to do is we're going to place the Bibarel down and the Seaking down, and then we can Artazon out our Finneon. And then we're going to go ahead and probably just research and discard everything, because there's not really anything here that we need desperately. Looks like we're playing against, like, Arcanine EX or something like that, potentially, is what I can assume. Okay. The escape rope's kind of annoying. That's actually really good. Good play by them. I feel like they, if that was the play they were going for, then going for, what is that thing called? The experience share is kind of not really needed, but, well played to them. I think we're just going to go ahead and research here. We could look for like a super rod or something, or a escape rope with a Irida, but I don't really think we need to. We'll place this down. We'll place the other Finneon down. We can attach the 3 energies to our Seaking. And then draw with Bibarel. See what we find. If we hit a switch or something, that'd be pretty sweet. Fortunately, we didn't. We can manually attach. Yeah, alright. So we'll manually attach to the Bibarel. That way, on our next turn, if we have to, if it doesn't get knocked out, we can always just retreat it physically and go into the Seaking, because we're going to be hitting for weakness anyway, so we don't even really need to hit that high of damage numbers. There's Magma Basin. But yeah, one of the things I will say about this deck is, like, it is a lot of fun, but an odd compliment, I guess, to give it, or like a weird way of putting it, we can put Seaking into the active. I think that's fine. Like a weird compliment, I guess, to give it is, ooh, what does this do, actually? Hits for 120. Oh, okay, so it's about to knock out our Seaking. That's actually kind of crazy. That's a really good play. I didn't know that did that, or I wouldn't have put up Seaking. But it doesn't really matter, because we can always Superior and get all those energies back. And I think that's what we're probably going to do. Oh, even better. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and Seaking. We will get rid of these, grab ourselves all those energies back. Boop, boop, and boop. Get the 3. We can Finneon. But one, like, weird good thing about this deck, especially because it is, like, a definitely more fun, casual deck, is that it's a really, really good deck to play with your friends. Especially, like, your friends that are kind of new. Because, like, it's not fun for your friends, you know, in case none of you have ever heard this before, or your friends were too scared to tell you, I'll tell you for them. It's not very fun for your friends to play the game when you're just playing, like, you know, the, like, Mew VMAX, and they have, like, a starter deck, and you're just absolutely obliterating them. It's not very fun for them. It's not really fun for anybody. I threw that Bidoof down. I didn't really have to. That's kind of a mistake, I guess, but I just wanted to play something down. The correct play probably would have been, like, Basculin or something. We hit for weakness here, so we can actually just knock this out immediately, and that's pretty sweet. Grab ourselves 2 prize cards here. But yeah, when you're an experienced player and you're trying to get, like, your friend into the game, what happens a lot of times is, like, people lose that the objective is to teach somebody or, like, to have fun at the end of the day, because they're, like, a competitive player or they're more experienced or whatever. So what ends up happening is they're, like, they go in with, like, Gardevoir EX or, you know, Lost Zone or, you know, whatever, and they just dominate their friend, like, 5 games in a row, and it's like, oh, aren't you having fun? It's like, no, they're not. And it's like, you have to kind of play decks that give them a chance to not only play the game, but also, like, give them an opportunity to learn their deck. Because if you're just beating them in, like, 2 turns, it didn't really matter what they, you know, what they get to play or what they were gonna do, because, like, they already lost before the game started. And I just kind of think that's something important. I think this deck is really good for that, because you can have fun, and it allows your, you know, both you and your opponent to play the game to an enjoyable level. We'll heavy ball here, see what's in our prize cards. Nothing we really need. I think the best thing we can do here is look for our Seaking. We're going to need to get more. That's going to be annoying. We'll play that down. We're gonna have to look for like super rods and stuff like that because we're gonna need more Seakings. There's 2 energies that we have. And then we can also place the we're gonna need a rod first before we do that. Alright, let's Iono here. So hopefully we can grab like 1 more energy and then just like knock this out. Alright, perfect. Alright, so we'll get all the energy we want into our hand now. And then, yeah, so here's the play we're gonna make. We'll attach these. Yeah, alright, so that's gonna be the play. So we're gonna knock this thing out. If he doesn't have a Arcanine EX, then that's even better for us. If he does, then like, oh well. But really what we're looking for now is like a Super Rod or like a Klara in order to shuffle back our Basculegion. Him putting that to the active makes me assume he already has it. But yeah, like, so that way we can shuffle back a Seaking and a Basculegion. And kind of get going from there. What does this thing do? Draw until you have... that's not a bad card. It's kind of like Melanie, but for fire types, which isn't terrible. He's gonna knock us out here, which kind of sucks. Maybe I shouldn't have gotten all the energy into my hand, because now I can't Bibarel. But I can play around it, I guess. Ugh. Had to yawn there for a sec. Discard it too. Interesting. But yeah, so like I just think that's kind of something that is important and gets lost sometimes. It's like you want to teach your friend how to play. Oh, perfect. All right, so we can Irida. We'll grab ourselves a Basculin for now. And we'll grab ourselves the Super Rod. Actually, let's grab the Goldeen for now. Right? How many energy do we have in our deck? I think that's actually the more important question. 1. So we're going to need the Basculin more importantly. So we'll place that down. So that. And then we can Super Rod. Then we can Super Rod in that. Another Seaking. And a Basculegion. Then what we can do is we'll attach to this Bibarel. We'll escape rope to get that out of the active. Alright, just gotta select something. Alright, and then we go Bibarel here. Retreat that. And we can just put up like our normal Bidoof. And now draw ourselves some new cards. And there's our Basculegion. Hype. Alright, so we're good. So now we're in a position like we can let this thing get knocked out. We go Basculegion. And just knock out what's ever in the active, and that'll reset all our energies back into our deck. Which is pretty good. I'd like to be able to like boss up this and knock that out, but really it doesn't matter because getting any individual knockout will be kind of good enough at this point. Because it'll set us to 2 prize cards remaining, and then we can just look for a knockout on that later on anyway. So we'll put this down. We can retreat. Get another one into the discard pile. And then we'll draw one for turn with Bibarel. There's a research. We'll hold on to that for now. Yeah. Alright, so we'll do 400 damage. That's pretty hype. Get all our energy back into our discard, or sorry, back into the deck. We'll take another prize card. There's the Nest Ball. And so we can afford to give up Basculegion and even like re-put down this Bidoof if we want. It won't really matter. And like we can give that stuff up. So again, we don't really care all that much. What we're really looking to do is we're going to Nest Ball out a Goldeen. Manually attach one energy to it, so we already have that on board. And then we can Professor's Research to get rid of all this stuff if we really want to. To like force ourselves into the Goldeen, or not the Goldeen, the Seaking later. So that all works out. So we'll throw that up, and then we Nest Ball, grab ourselves the Goldeen here. Let's see, how many superior energy retrievals do we have? We don't have any other ones in the deck, so I don't fully want to discard this all. But really it doesn't matter all that much. We can just go ahead and get rid of all this. Alright, cool. Now we have everything we need. So that's going to be game if he knocks out the Bidoof with his Arcanine. Sometimes playing like these, I don't want to say lower level, because it's not that the play is inherently lower level, it's just like the decks or like the strategy can be like a little bit on the lower level side. But I really do enjoy playing these games sometimes, just because like I feel like some of these decks in a weird way like require me to think and play out a game in a much better way than most other decks or most other strategies. Because like when you play like that, you know, the Charizard Miraidon matchup like 100 times, it kind of becomes like this weird grind game of like, all right, we both are looking to do the same thing. We're both playing almost the same game over and over. Is where like now it just feels, I don't know. Like it just feels like different. Like we're both just like really trying for something, I guess. I don't know. Like you have to think about your moves more when everything does less, I guess is the best way to describe it. We'd really love to find, I can't remember if there's another boss in my deck or not. I think there is. If there is, I'd love to find it. I don't understand why he won't knock out the Bidoof. Alright, so, hold on. So, alright, this is how we're going to do this. So, we'll add 2 Pokemon from our discard pile to our hand. Do we want to just do Basculegion? How many things are in our discard pile? Is it only that one energy as of right now? I think so. So never mind. We'll do 1 energy. Not Basculegion. No. I'm running out of time. Speed run. Go. Alright, got it. Alright, so now we can just set up our next Seaking on the next turn. So we'll just drop 3 energies onto this one, because that's all we're going to need for now. We can retreat. Go into this. Again, I'm not really sure why he didn't knock out the Bidoof, because that would have put us in a much more precarious situation. Because we would be down to in that situation, they would have knocked out the Bidoof, and then they would be down to 1 prize card, and that would have, like, made things much harder. So I'm not sure why they didn't do that. It wouldn't or it may have made a difference. Because what we would have had to do then is that we would have put the Seaking into play, put all of our energies onto the Seaking, to thin our hand as much as we possibly could, and then drew with Bibarel, and then looked for options, you know, going forward. So, like, that might have made a difference. And he potentially could have won. It just depends. But I don't know. I guess we would have to. We'd have to see. It all just depends on, like, if we get into, you know, our cards on this draw, if it would have made a difference. I guess is the easiest way to think about it. So there's a Goldeen. You can throw that down. Throw the other barrel down just to thin our hand. Throw the Seaking down. Then we're going to draw after all this is over just to kind of see what we would have got. Alright, so that's all down. Let's draw. Alright, so it would have made a difference, like they would have won, because we would have just been out of... like, we wouldn't have gotten a way to pull up their Arcanine. Maybe there's a way that we could have figured it out, but I don't know it off the top of my head right now. But we're about to hit for 480 damage. Pull a little Dr. Evil with $1 million. Cool, we got our Super Rod. So that's going to be the first game, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Kind of just having some fun, messing around a little bit, not really analyzing the game super intensely. I think it's just like, it's fun sometimes to like kind of recenter and just enjoy the game for the game. Have some fun with some casual decks and just kind of sit back and relax and talk about nothing. But yeah, so we'll go into game 2 and I'll see you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're into the next game and we're going to be going first. We're going to mulligan immediately. Which is kind of for the best. This hand would have not been very good to go first with, if I'm being completely honest. Even if, let's say, this was, like, Basculin rather than Basculegion. I don't think it would be very good. I don't really... Alright, so, people that understand the Pokemon lore better than me, I know, like, a bit, but, you know, I'm not the most background lore-invested Pokemon player, if I'm being honest. How do the Hisuian forms work? Are they just extinct or something? Because Hisui is just ancient Sinnoh, right? So then, if there's evolutions that exist that were like in the Hisui region or Hisuian region, however you want to say it, where are they now? Like, why don't they exist in Pokemon anymore? Like, I feel like that doesn't make sense, right? Like, they should. Like, there's no reason they wouldn't exist. Like, why aren't Basculegions existing in the rest of the world in Sinnoh with everything else? If Basculin does. Right? That would make sense. Okay, Diancie's kind of interesting. I don't know when this ability would ever... Sorry. I can't stop yawning today. I wonder what, like, Lycanroc deck they're playing. I love the, I don't know what it's... What is it? The Dusk form? The Lycanroc EX that does damage back whenever you attack it. That thing's pretty sweet. I love that card. I love that deck. I played it for a while. I haven't really workshopped it since. I feel like I guess I could and like bring that deck back as another like really fun casual deck. This won't matter to us. That's pretty hype. What does that do? Oh. I mean, that's fun. Spike draw, 20 damage. Okay. hitting a super clean Iono would be hype right now, but I don't think that's going to happen. Let's grab ourselves an Ultra Ball. And we'll grab ourselves the Finneon. And what we can do now is place the Finneon down, go ahead and get rid of 1 and 1. We can always get the Basculegion back later, but really we're just looking for the Bibarel for now. We will evolve, manually attach, and then we'll find ourselves something else with the Artazon. We'll grab one more Goldeen, why not? We don't know what they're playing, really, so I have no idea if, like, Jirachi or Manaphy are going to be good. And then we'll incisors and grab ourselves the last energy we need. There it is. I just know all the scripts. There, place that down, and we'll just attack for 150. Which isn't bad. I mean, 3 energy for 150 isn't really super good, but the fact that we can kind of, like, accelerate it makes it a lot better. There's the other Finneon in case ours gets knocked out, so that's pretty good. Doesn't look like they'll have an like an option to attack us back, but they might. We'll have to wait and see. Our hands... Ooh, what does that do? If your opponent's active Pokemon has no damage counters on it, this attack does nothing. Oh. That's kind of that's. I mean, it's not good, but it's funny in this scenario where that's like the exact damage they need too. We'll put up another Goldeen. Our hand's kind of terrible. Oh, well, an Irida fixes that, doesn't it? So we'll go ahead and grab ourselves a Seaking and a Letters of Encouragement. Top deck God, never punished. Throw that down. Throw ourselves down a Letters of Encouragement. Get our 3 new cards. And then we can just attach them all using Finneon. Boop. Boop. And another boop. Boop. Get that down. We'll throw this down. And we'll Super Rod back in this, this, and this. Just to kind of thin our hand out a little bit. And we'll go ahead and Industrial. Draw ourselves 2 more cards in case we need them. That's great. And Aqua Horn. Get the knockout there. We'll take 1 more prize. We'll take 5. There's the Basculin. That's pretty cool. What does this do? I've never seen this card. Heal 20 damage from this Pokemon and hit for 110. Alright. I mean, this deck's playing some fun cards, but it seems not great. But it seems like somebody building a deck of, like, their favorite cards, and I applaud that. I think that's really cool. Like, this is, like, the one... Again, kind of like what I talked about in the first game. This is kind of the fun thing of just like hanging back and playing some casual games every now and again. I know it's not for everyone. Some people are hyper competitive. But I love just like... I would never see these cards any other time. But now I'd like... would love to know what they do. Put an energy attached to this Pokemon to your hand. Switch this Pokemon within your bench. What does this thing do? Once per turn you wish shuffle your deck. Search your deck for an item card. Man, I can't stop yawning. Reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle your deck. If you use this ability, your turn ends. So, not great. Also wouldn't have attached to that. I feel like attaching to this is probably better. But, you know, things happen. Rare candy? The hell is that going on? I'm so confused. And I know internally that it like their deck's probably just terrible. But I'm like really hoping somewhere in the back of my mind that there's like a method to this madness, like they're gonna do something absolutely insane and it's gonna blow me away. And that would be super, super cool. I don't really think that's going to happen, but I would love for that to happen. But also, I just love seeing the cards sometimes. Like, just kicking back, having a fun, little relaxing game. Let's see, what else do they put on it? It's like a little adventure. It's like a little mystery box opening, just seeing whatever they decide to randomly play. What the f... Alright, Galarian Farfetch'd is so cool. If I could have a new... What does that do? I've never seen some of these cards before. Let me look at the card. If any of your fighting Pokemon were knocked out during... oh, okay. That's kind of cool. Next turn this Pokemon can't use Auxiliary Jab. That's kind of fun. I feel like, again, like at a very casual level, this card could be really fun. Like you pair it with like a better Lycanroc or something, and like that'd be kind of hype. Or some sort of like basic fighting Pokemon. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Galarian Farfetch'd is the next like cool basic EX I really want in the game, and I want it to be good. Like, one of my biggest complaints right now is that a lot of the cards I love are bad. So like, we don't have a cool Great Tusk, which I would absolutely love. I'm gonna grab this just so I can like empty my hand out a little bit and start drawing some cards. But yeah, we don't have a cool Great Tusk, which I would absolutely love. We have like block Snorlax in the meta, but we don't have like an actual like cool Snorlax in the meta. Snorlax being my favorite Pokemon, shout out. We don't have like anything like that in the meta right now, and I wish we did. Like, I feel like a lot of the cards I absolutely love, like Pokemon wise, just don't get a lot of like cool representation. Like, what's another, like Blastoise? I'm working on a deck to kind of play that. But again, Blastoise just didn't really get much love, even in the 151 set. Like, the Blastoise we got was, like, alright. Like, it's fine, but it's not really that great, which is sad. And, like, that's depressing. Venusaur never gets any love. Like, I can't remember the last time there was a good Venusaur card. Did he... I don't... Oh, okay. For a second, I was thinking to myself, did he even get a Radiant? But he did. He did get one. It was just the worst. It was just the worst out of the three, I think. Like, Blastoise is... the Radiant Blastoise is, like, semi-useful. I would run it with normal Blastoise to, like, kind of fix damage numbers. But the biggest problem is that Radiant Greninja is just so much better in the deck. Like, you have to run that. But, like, certain matchups, the Radiant Blastoise wouldn't be that bad, because you can discard an energy, put the extra, I think it's 20 damage down. Oh, hey, that thing knocked me out. How much damage are we going to be able to do with Basculegion? I mean, I know it's going to be enough, but I want to know the number. Wow, 140. Only just enough. That was about to be embarrassing. But yeah, you can fix certain damage numbers with Radiant Blastoise for like a Charizard EX matchup or something like that, because you only hit for 280. So and then you give them like a Defiant Belt or something, and like that'd be pretty sweet. But even then, like, it's not really good enough, which sucks. And Radiant Greninja is just so much better. But yeah, that's gonna be the game, guys. Definitely a different style of game. This last one was obviously not the highest quality of matchup or anything like that, but I just wanted to have some fun, relax, just kind of have a conversation with you guys about like random stuff. I'd love to hear your opinions on, you know, like kind of just some of the random questions I asked. Just, you know, have a little conversation, have fun with each other in the comments and all that, and just relax. If this is not the style of, you know, content you guys want to see, if you want to keep it more like actual ranked games and all that kind of stuff like I normally always do, that's totally fine too. I can make, you know, I can use Swim Freely and ranked and like all that kind of stuff and try to climb the ladder and like make the games more serious all the time. But every now and again, I would love to just be able to play like these casual, fun decks, just kind of hang out and just talk to you guys about, you know, random crap. But yeah, definitely let me know. Let me hear your feedback. Let me know what you think of the thumbnails and like this format design. I'll never ask you guys again. That'll be it. You guys, you know, this is the final vote, and you'll never have to hear me, you know, talk about thumbnails again. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one with a more serious deck to play. But yeah,